The views, information, and opinions expressed during the following program are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent the views of Access Communications, its representatives, or its employees.
Everyone, we'll call this August 23rd meeting open. Under presentations, we have none this evening. Could I have a motion, please, to adopt the agenda as presented? Thank you, birthday girl. Shelley, by the way, happy 50th. You only look 34, but that's great.
I'm going to reverse the process now.
How many people are willing to share their birthday with us? That's great of you to be here.
Thank you.
Have we got a seconder? Thank you. Becca, whoa, Councillor Ford, sorry. Can't make that mistake. Travis is on me. Okay, ready for the question? All in favor? Carried. Okay, next, under original communications, delegations, and petitions, we have nothing this evening. Under written reports of committees, we have from the Southeast Transportation Planning Committee the minutes of July 27th. Could we?
The minutes from council. Where'd you get those?
Oh, I did. I flew right past that. I guess I'm trying to drag this meeting out already. Let's go back to the minutes. Could I have a motion, please, to accept the minutes of the council meeting held on August 9th? Thank you. I'll look at these two gentlemen here. Okay. Councillor Cernick and Councillor Frank. Ready for the question? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, under executive reports, we have from Land Development, IG Wealth Management Services Development. And we have Richard here to explain anything we need for explanation. We have received an application for development approval for a financial services business at 1138 3rd Street. Proposal is to use the existing building. The business has some off-street parking available and either on-street or public parking nearby. It is noted that this area is becoming congested for on-street parking on weekends, but that is outside of normal business hours and should not be an issue. Notification. Notice of the proposed use was provided to the adjoining landowners, as we usually do, within 75 meters. Land Development Services received one inquiry from an adjacent asking for more information and an inquiry from the developer. No objections to the proposed use have been received. The recommendation is the council consider a positive decision on this proposal subject to standard conditions for discretionary uses. And thank you, Richard, for being here tonight. Did you have anything to add to that?
Not at this point. I'm here if there's any questions.
Okay, we'll open the floor for questions. Any questions from members of council? Councillor Cernick.
Thank you, Worship. Are they planning to do anything special or just renovating the property? Or is there like anything different going on the outside or anything?
I believe the proposed business is already in operation. There was renovations inside that took place, but no exterior renovations were contemplated at this point.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Cernick. Richard, if there's no further questions, do we have a motion to move forward with the recommendation? Thank you, Councillor Frank, seconded by Councillor Ford. Any further questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, under executive reports, we have the building official permit reports for July. Could we have a motion, please, to accept those? Councillor Clark, thank you. Thank you, Richard. Have a nice evening. Are you out putting posts in the ground for election? No, just kidding.
I've never heard of.
Yeah, never heard of, no relation, let it be known. Okay, thank you. Seconded by Councillor Broba. Any questions or comments? If not, all in favor? Carried, thank you. Last but not least, under executive reports, we have from the Water Services Manager, the water quality report for July. So the operator and staff of the water treatment plant must inform council of the quality of water leaving the treatment facility on a monthly basis. We treated a total of 202,962,500 liters of water and pumped 188,954,000 liters into the distribution system for the month. There were no plant upsets, and all regulated parameters for drinking water were below government regulations. Under the Water Security Agency guidelines, we are to inform the owner, council, of breaks within the distribution system. We operate under a self-governing approved process to ensure breaks are repaired correctly and public safety is ensured. There were no water breaks for the month of July. So everything out there is going great, and we commend Shane and his crew for all of the good work that they do. Any questions on this? I guess first, could we have a motion, please, to accept the water quality report? Thank you, Councillor Cernick. Seconded by Councillor Clark. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Next, under introduction of bylaws, we have none. Public hearings and reports, we have none. Giving notice, none this evening. Motions from committee, no motions from committee. And consideration of bylaws, we have none this evening. Inquiries, birthday girl, Councillor Froba.
Thank you, Your Worship. So on Friday, council took a tour of some of the, or most of the facilities in the city of Estevan that are owned and operated by the city of Estevan. And the Estevan Public Library was very impressive. So for anyone who has not gone and got their library card and checked out a few books or checked out some DVDs or even the computer system that they have down there, they have the reading area, it was just impressive to be in there to see what is offered by the Estevan Public Library for free for the citizens of this area. So I would recommend that everybody go and check it out, get a library card, and start utilizing the services that they have there, because it will enrich your lives.
Thank you, Councillor Froba. And yeah, it's great. You don't get much for nothing, or not a lot anymore, so it's well worthwhile. Great trip. Thank you. Councillor Clark, I can see you between the balloons.
Nothing this evening, Your Worship.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Ford.
Thanks, Your Worship. I've just had a couple questions over the past week or so about the pathway system, and maybe City Manager can touch on this. Just the bylaw on using motorized vehicles on pathways and in parks.
Okay, good point. Thank you. City Manager.
Thank you, Councillor Ford. So the pathways have been constructed, and the normal pathway bylaw will be applied, so no motorized vehicles on those facilities. I believe as we get to a grand opening, I believe Rod will be doing a public education piece on what is allowed and what isn't allowed, and just for everyone to be courteous to other users of the path. I know everyone's very excited and there's many people using them, but be courteous of everyone using them. Thank you.
Thank you. So yeah, in answer to that, Councillor Ford, we will kind of take a come-and-see attitude somewhat. Hopefully everyone will be safe. We would like as many users as possible, but part of the problem with motorized is they're heavy, and in the summertime they could cause indentation, but we will play it by ear. Thank you. Councillor Cernick.
Thank you, Your Worship. I just had inquiries into a shrubbery that was kind of impeding traffic on the corner of 4th Street and 8th Avenue, so pass that on to the city manager, and it sounds like that'll be taken care of. And I did want to mention, a month or two ago, somebody did inquire about shrubberies that were by the No Frills. So I was by there today and seen that was actually looked after and all cut down, so thanks to all involved for that. Thank you.
Super. Thank you, Councillor Cernick. Councillor Frank.
Thanks, Your Worship. I just wanted to pass along, I think every single day I see 2 or 3 people on social media, quite happy using the paths, doing 5Ks, and so just really glad to see so many people out enjoying them. Just a reminder, they're still under construction, so be careful a little bit, but go and enjoy them, and looking forward to, I think everybody's kind of excited exploring new areas of town every time a new one kind of opens up, so that's just great news. The other thing I was just going to notice, I just had a few people comment to me that there's a larger amount of litter lately, that of course I know our city crews are always hard at picking up, but if you see litter, try to pick it up and keep our city clean, and maybe don't litter. I think Councillor Vroba preaches that every couple of weeks, but she didn't tonight, so I'm going to do it for her as a birthday gift, so there we go.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Frank. Councillor Walliser, sorry we've been missing you, or I missed in your regular place. Sorry about that, I apologize. Do you have any inquiries this evening?
Thanks, Your Worship. The only feedback I've been receiving is that now that everyone's been on the new pathways, just how much they'd like to see some TLC for the old pathways. Maybe some weed spraying, or maybe a plan heading into 2022 about how we're going to rehab some of the existing surfaces.
Okay, thank you very much. And again, I apologize. You probably were ready to make a few motions this evening too, so sorry about that. Okay, and City Manager and I just got back from a couple days in Yorkton, where we meet twice a year, the city mayors and the city managers. We went over our strat plan. One of the hot button topics that we will be getting together with our provincial government with was this whole reassessment. We're trying to cut it down, probably City Manager, to what, 2 years if we can, from 4, to make it more timely. And we'll see where that goes, but pretty much to every city was very, very upset with reassessment, the way SAMA handled it, and we will work very hard to try to change that, to make it more accessible, more easier to use. I know it falls on Trudy and Trina from our staff, and it's always a tough job, especially come reassessment. So we would like to try to make it more friendly user and more understandable, I guess. What would you suggest, Trudy?
Yes, no, definitely 2 years would help considerably, so hopefully they can work something out, yes. Okay,
appreciate that. And I also, I guess under inquiries, I could ask City Manager, did you have any inquiries?
Nothing to add, Your Worship.
Okay, City Clerk? You guys are usually very quiet, but with the meeting being young, I thought perhaps you might have more to say. City Treasurer? No? Okay, we'll go back to Councillor Vroba, who, this being her birthday, I think has perhaps some more things to say.
Thank you, Your Worship. I just actually wanted to add about the pathway with people walking on it. What I've already heard is that even on the new pathways, there has been dog poop found on the sides. And so people were kind of disheartened that people that are already on the new pathways are already into the old habits of not utilizing the bags. So just a real huge friendly reminder to please pick up after your own pet, because there are actually people out in the community that go with these for their walks with their own pet, and they're picking up after people who haven't picked up. So good. It would be great to see, especially when we have a lot of kudos to the city for supplying the bags. So the fact that the city is doing that, it would be extra easy for us to utilize those bags and make sure that we take them.
And a couple of vehicles, now that you mentioned that, were spotted on our pathways, and of course that's unacceptable, so we would appreciate people not joyriding on the new pathways. Okay, thank you, Councillor Vroba. Anything else from any members of council? Kirsten, anything else? No? Okay, do we have a motion to move into committee? And Kirsten, I'm looking at you for this one. Thank you. Okay. Councillor Walliser, have we got a seconder? Thank you. Councillor Ford, any further questions, comments? If not, all in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. We stand adjourned, and good evening, everyone.